You want to know how you can become forever unemployable and never have to work a 9 to 5 again? Stay tuned and I'll teach you how I did it. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Graylan Stewart. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a virtual wholesaler and entrepreneur. Our main strategy in business every day is wholesaling real estate. So my channel is all about wholesaling. We do it all day, every day, and we do it nationwide. If you don't know what wholesaling is simply getting a motivated seller, putting a contract on their house at a discount, and then you turn and sell that contract to a cash buyer that wants to fix it up, and then you make the spread in between because you sell that contract higher than what you got it for. And that's virtually what wholesaling is in a nutshell. And we do that virtually. As I mentioned, I'm a virtual wholesaler. So we lock deals up over the phone, and my entire team is virtual as well. So we all work from our own houses. So that's kind of what we do, and we do it really well. But we also, have other strategies as well, to where obviously my goal in my company is for all of the employees to buy and hold their own properties so that they can create cash flow and future wealth for themselves. It's much better than a 401k ever dreamed of being, just because you actually control it. It's a hard asset that you can touch and feel and see with your own eyes. And real estate over time always goes up as long as you hold it long enough. So that's why I always encourage everyone I talk to, not just people that I work with, to buy real estate. Whether you're an investor or not, whether real estate is interesting to you or not, it's still the path to wealth. If you want to have a savings account or whatever, 401ks and things like that, that's okay. But it's better to put your money in real estate because your money is safe there. The stock market is basically like gambling. Obviously, there's methods and people that do that for a living that really know the ins and outs of it, and that's cool. But the average person out there, you have no control over it at all. So that's why I say real estate. You can basically put your money into real estate and pretty much are guaranteed for that to always go up in value over time as long as you hold on to it. Okay, as I've said in other videos, obviously real estate, it trends up and down, but it's always in an upward trend, for the long haul. So that's why I say it's the safest place to put your money. It's much better than savings account or stock markets, things like that, in my opinion, because as I said, it's something you can touch, feel, and go see for yourself. But also, people need to live somewhere. There's always going to be a housing need. And in our market today, I've heard numbers recently that we are short about 2.5 million homes nationwide. That's why I don't think that there's going to be any kind of crash or anything crazy like that anytime soon, because it's all about supply and demand. If there's not enough houses for people to move into or live in, then there's obviously the prices are still going to keep rising because of supply and demand. They can charge more because there's not as many of them out there. In most major markets, there's not a ton of houses on the actual MLS, that are available, like there was, several years ago. So for that reason, I don't believe that the market's going anywhere anytime soon. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about being forever unemployable. Now, what does that mean? That can mean different things to different people, in my opinion. But what it means for me is, you can't pay me enough to work for anyone else or another company. That's just the way I'm built. I did the corporate job thing for a little while in my life, but for the most part, the majority of my life, even as a little kid, I've always been an entrepreneur. I was always selling things or making things to sell when I was a kid. And then also that just transitioned into my adult life to where I was always figuring out ways to make money with side hustles and things like that. But now I'm to the point where, I have a real estate company where we wholesale houses all over the country, and we also fix and flip houses, and I keep houses for long-term wealth. As I was telling you, that's really how you can build wealth quickly, because you buy these houses at a discount, so you have that equity in the property that adds to your net worth, but you also have cash flow every single month. If your mortgage is $500 and you're charging $800, you got to account for vacancies and potential repairs. But if you do it right, you do the repairs before you ever find a tenant. So you pretty much have all that as cash flow. So $300 cash flow per month doesn't sound sexy and doesn't sound like it's a lot, and it's not. But if you have 10 of those, that becomes $3,000 a month. But also, if you've got 25% equity left in every one of those properties, and let's say they're $100,000 a piece, and you got them at 75, you're all in for 75. So you have $25,000 equity in each one of those 10 properties. So now your net worth is $250,000 based on that equity, and you have $3,000 per month cash flow. Like, that's pretty strong, and that's just getting started. That's only 10 houses. I know tons of friends that have hundreds of houses. I know several that have thousands of houses, or not even just houses, just doors in general. When I say doors, if you have an apartment complex that has 30 units, that's 30 doors. That's just like having 30 single-family homes. So it's even better because it's only one big unit to manage. But at the same time, that's just a different game. You can play that game if you want. It's easier to get started in single family, so most people start out that way. But I have heard of people starting out doing multifamily, big apartments and things like that. But you typically have partners and things like that on apartments because they're multi-million-dollar, assets typically. But the bottom line is being forever unemployable is literally that. Even if somebody offered me $1 million a year to work for them to do whatever, I wouldn't do it, because I make more than that now, for one. And for two, time freedom is the most important thing. That's really what we're all searching. It's not necessarily the money. It's the things that money actually does for us, like free you up with time. It just gives you options to do whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, and you're not locked down to doing specific things. Now, you don't have to necessarily not be in a 9-to-5 job to be forever unemployable either, in my opinion, because some people like to work for other people, and that's okay. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone because it is difficult. But at the same time, if you have time freedom, like in a lot of sales jobs, you do have that time freedom, but you're more guaranteed to have income coming in because somebody else is paying for your marketing. Somebody else is bringing you leads and buying the systems, buying the processes, paying for all these other things. And all you have to do is actually just sell or if you're in my business, you're doing acquisitions or dispositions. So you're making money on other people's dime, and that's cool too. But you can still build your wealth. That's why I encourage people that I work with and people that I know to buy rental properties, because you can build your wealth on the side while you're doing the job that you love, without necessarily have to be a real estate investor. One of the things that one of my kids told me recently was, real estate's not interesting to me. I don't really care about that, and I don't want to do that. And I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to pursue that as a career, but at the same time, you can start gathering assets, meaning buying houses, to where you can actually use that as your retirement plan one day, as opposed to what the government tells you to do, trying to make you believe that 401ks and IRAs and the stock market and all these things are the way to go. Well, it's not. That's their agenda. That's what they want you to do. But that's more of, like I said before, it's more like a gambling thing, unless you do that specifically all day, every day. It's gambling. Now, you don't necessarily have to do real estate all day, every day to have safe assets, right? Putting your money into houses or apartments or any type of home that people can live in my opinion, is always the safest thing you can do. People always have to live somewhere. People are always moving. The average person moves, or the average family or whatever moves every 5 to 7 years. So, but not only that, there's more people being born every day, and that's why there's a housing shortage, because there's not enough houses being built to keep up with the amount of people being born. So that's why we're 2.5 million houses short. So that's why, real estate is a safe bet, because it's not even a bet. It's especially if you buy it at a discount, even if the market does dip a little bit. If I bought it at 25% equity in the deal, still a $100,000 house, and I'm in it for 75, and the market dips a little, and maybe that house is now it's worth 75 because the market dipped, I'm still fine. I'm not losing money. But even if it did, even if it went down to maybe it's worth 60, like it happened in 2008, 9, and 10, a lot of people lost a lot of money. But a lot of that was because they didn't buy it right. They were paying, stupid prices to where it didn't make sense. If the market did dip, they were in trouble. But if you're buying houses at a huge discount, you'll always be safe. And nevertheless, if you don't sell it, you'll be safe anyways, because you're going for the long-term play to create wealth and somebody else paying your mortgage and increasing your net worth every single day. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on being forever unemployable. Nobody could ever buy me. Nobody could ever give me a job worth enough. I say no one and never enough, but, if someone offers me $5 million to do a 9 to 5, I probably consider that, but, those kind of jobs aren't typically out there unless you're running some giant company or something like that. But, forever unemployable is really where I stand. I've got enough passive income to where I don't even have to work again, but I love doing what I do. I love real estate. I love the hustle of wholesaling houses, especially now that we have a system and a process built behind the entire thing to where it's just a machine that runs. That's the best way to do it. So anyways, hopefully you got some value from this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.